Hi developers, in this video, we will be solving a problem from the Lead Code platform, and the problem is find the maximum achievable number. So the problem states we are given two integers, that is num and t. We need to find a maximum achievable number. So what does maximum achievable number mean? So a number is said to be achievable if it can become equal to num after applying the following operations. That is, we can either increase or decrease the number by 1, and simultaneously we can again increase or decrease the number by 1. So we need to return the maximum achievable number after applying these set of operations for at most t times. So we can either increase or decrease a number by 1, and simultaneously we need to decrease again by 1. That means increasing the number by 1, then again simultaneously you need to increase the number by 1. And if in case you are trying to decrease the number by 1, then simultaneously you again need to decrease the number by 1. So by looking at the question, if we apply some common sense or some logic, it's very clear that to achieve a maximum number, we will not decrease the number by 1 or 2. That we will be only increasing the number to achieve the maximum. And as it said, we need at most t times. So what does that mean? We can do that operation at most t times. So let's understand this. If I have given you a 1 rupee, a 100 rupee, and 1,000 rupees, and along with this I have provided you a choice, pick any one such that you have a maximum rupees. So whenever I tell this, how much money do you pick? So with the logic, you want a maximum money, so of course you would be picking the 1,000 rupees, right? Which means whenever we are applying any operation and we are trying to get the maximum from that, at last we would be ultimately picking the maximum only. In the question it stated that in the one time you can either increase or decrease. Like if you are trying to increase it, first increase it and again increase it by 1, which means 2. Since subtracting is not possible when we are trying to achieve maximum, that's why decreasing is not possible. So therefore in the one operation we are increasing by 2. And for at most t times, how much I can increase? So I can increase 2t times. Therefore, if I add 2t with the provided number, then I can get the answer. Which means you can do num plus 2 into t. And therefore, this is how we can achieve a maximum number. If you try to substitute the values in this formula, n plus 2 into t, that is 2 into 1, we get as 4 plus 2, which is actually equivalent to 6. This is what we need to return. And now let's look at the another example to verify that our approach is correct or not. In the second test case, we are given num as 3 and the value of t is 2 and the output we are getting is 7. So now let's erase this thing and try to substitute those values from the derived formula and check whether we are getting the desired output or not. Since num value is 3, t value is 2. So 2 into 2 is nothing but 4. So we are getting 4 and 3 plus 4 is actually equivalent to 7, which means we are getting the desired output. This is how we actually solve this problem and try to return the output from the given two numbers. Before going to the coding platform and writing down the code, let me tell you a short trick to solve these kind of problems, like the problems when given to you, and if you don't know the solution, then what you need to do. So when you are actually not aware of the problem or approach and you didn't got the problem, one thing you can simply do is you can simply look at the inputs as well as outputs and try to find out the pattern that is repeating. If you see, there is something 4 and 1 and we are getting an output as 6. If you look at the only one test case, you will not be able to find or recognize the pattern. So it's better to look at the 2 or 3 test cases. Then only your brain will try to find a pattern. For the second test case, you can see we are given 3 and 2 and there is an output 7. So something your brain starts to recognize it and tells you that we are doing something operation num plus 2 into t and returning it. So that's how you actually recognize the patterns from any one of the problem. Most of the coding problems you see are nothing but actually based on some patterns. You just need to understand those patterns. And after recognizing those patterns, try to just modify the code and make able to solve the given problem. That's it. That's it, coding. Coding is nothing but thinking 99% and writing up the code is just 1%. So let's get to the coding platform. As you can see, this is the lead code platform and this is the question, and we are actually provided a function where we actually need to write the code. So simply, as I said, we actually derived this formula through this problem statement, and what I will be doing is I will be just applying the same formula and returning it. The formula is num plus 2 into t. This is what we actually derived by understanding this problem statement. And once I try to run it, the test case have been passed. And when I try to submit it, it has been accepted by the platform. Great. So that's all for today, guys. So meet you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.